Working in a YTITYX. Child's pose. So we're going to go into child's pose. We're going to draw the ball in, bend the elbows, forehead down on the mat, bend the arms, make a palms together and turn it into Madonna. Your elbows got to get higher up. Nope. Higher. Yep. And then into here. And then we're going to just kind of feel like we pop the chest a little bit. So press and pop the chest. Good. Chin in a little bit more there. And then we can extend those arms out and then pull them back in. Good. And then just really press. Now our glasses might be in the way. We'd maybe move those. And then we'll do one more out. All the way out. Reach it. Stretch those fingers. There's fascia all through the fingers, the arms. Elongate and hold. So we can come out of there. Perfect. All right, we're going to do a bridge roll-out combo. Lie down on your back. Put your right foot on the ball, left foot on the floor. Good. I'm going to put some weights on the hips. Make sure this is even. We're going to bridge, roll out, roll in. Good. Bridge, roll the ball out, roll the ball in, and then return back down. These on the hips. Bridge. That's okay. Bridge, roll out. We're going to do a combination of strength and Pilates mix today. Good. Those weights are comfortable. Roll out, roll in. Is it good? Okay. Bridge, roll out. Roll in. One more. Now we can stay here and pulse with the leg long. Good. We'll send a message to the long hamstring. Go ahead and do a couple with a pulse in. So come on in, bend the knees, pulse there, relax the shoulders. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. And then switch sides. Extra weight, there's 20 pounds on our hips, so it's pretty easy. So this is a Pilates exercise. I added weights, so then it becomes a Pilates strength. Bridge. Roll out. Roll in. Watch the elbows pointing up. Relax those shoulders down. Good. Out. Good. Those elbows go down. Perfect. Wherever it's comfortable. Yeah, pulsing. We did some pulsing long lever, and we're going to do some pulsing short as well. In, perfect. She's got it. This is going to be a lot more strength feel in this type of, but mixing some of the ball routine exercises that you've been seeing on Instagram as I clipped that video so that you can do sections of it at home. Roll up and sit up, just so I can put this down. Get up. We're going to put your shoulders back, and I'm going to have you do a chest press. I'm going to have you do a chest press into a tricep combo. Yep.
So.
Yep. I think okay. Feels comfortable? Okay, we can always wiggle into a more comfortable position. I'm gonna put some props here, turn the palms. We're gonna bend and press. Exhale, press. Rotate inward towards each other and then skull crush. Exhale, press. But make sure you press before you rotate. So we don't go clean down and up. And then we rotate, we skull crush down. Try to get it towards the forehead. Yep, we want that elbow neutral. Exhale, press it. Oh, nope.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I'm tough on her. And then exhale, listen. All right, elbows wide. She comes a lot. She wants results. I'm hard on her. She knows it. We have a really good relationship that I can do this. And then I know where her weakness is, so I'm going to encourage her to work in her strength and not like blow through the move. That's a common cue I use. Some people are like, I didn't like blow it off. No, it doesn't mean you blew off the exercise. It just meant the motion was blown off in terms of you had more in you to get that specific extension. Even there, she wants to turn before I want her to. And to me, it will work more in her triceps. It's harder, right? There's a reason she's not doing it. I'm not, it's weakness probably, to be honest. Even though she's pretty strong, it's the weakness of that full extension. Press it. There we go. Now we turn palms and lower. I'm going to put a prop in. Good. So it's not like you personally, don't take the cues personally, where you personally, Yael, has blown through and not tried. It's the motion, it's the compensation. It's the compensation we learn from having pain or injury, restricted range of motion. Once that's like solidified and memorized in the body, that's what your body is going to do like over and over and over and over and over again, unless you tell it not to. Exhale, press. Good. I just drew her elbows in a little bit more. I still would like her to get to neutral. She's using the weights to help herself. But that's okay, a little bit. And then take these weights, just put them on your hips, and then we'll do some more pulsing. I'm going to get your vibration plate out, and I'm going to do some squats on the vibration plate with those weights. So even though we put it back in because we thought we were done with it, we're not. I thought we were. I'm just going to take the frontal. Okay, and then you can come on up here. Okay. All right, so we're going to do some squats. Huh?
With the weights?
Yeah, with the weights. So, feet nice and hip width distance apart where she is. She's going to squat. So go ahead. I said squat. She did a bicep curl. Not sure why.
No.
Squat. Let the weights fall forward of the knees. And then you can stand up. And yes, you will bicep curl. Now go ahead and bicep curl. Do not show. No.
Okay.
On the stand. She knows what she's doing now. Now guys, here's the thing. Do not do a shoulder press. You will hit the ceiling where I have you. She wants to think about it. Go ahead, continue. Squat. So you're on the vibration plate. What's that doing? This vibration is moving right to left. It's oscillating like this. And it also has just a motorized feel like you're in the car. Petsy's like, your place looks amazing. You're on live Instagram feed. Your squats look good. Anyway. I'm going to actually change it up for her. What I do is I watch the client move. So here's what I'm going to have you do. And we've done this before. Stand up, bicep curl, put the weights rested on the shoulders. Do your next squat with the weights right there. Right into it. Down, sit back into your chair. Now up, and then undo the bicep. Do another return of squat with the arms down by your sides. Down. She gets it. It just takes a moment. Curl, Sit into that. Yeah. Now up, and then return, and then release. But that was like, so what I call that is off the cuff. I just like gave her something a little harder to do in the moment. And so what that's going to do is take, maybe like, oh, I don't understand what you need. Oh, now I get it. Okay, boom, here, right? That looks good. And one more. Now we've also been practicing. I'm just going to give her this as the last one. She's going to squat with it on the shoulders because we're going to end and start where we finished. Okay, so that made no sense, but never mind. Put those down, and then we're going to get on and we're going to try our one-legged balance. So you're going to go more than hip width distance apart on there, just about where you were, to be honest. And we're going to shift into the right leg. We might need to use the ceiling, just one finger to the ceiling. We're going to shift into the right leg, and we're going to balance. We're going to unload first. That means the foot is still touching. Hold, hold, hold. And then if we can, we let go. One finger. Yael said to me, one finger. Stay over there. Cracks me up. She just goes rogue, does her own thing. But Yael said, well, so then this means like I didn't even need this. Yes, it did. Let go and see where you go. It's pretty good. But that one finger connection does mean something. It helps ground you. Stay over there. So further notice. Okay. The personality I use with her is very different than the personality I use with a lot of people. You've got to really know, understand me, and like me for me to be in this personality base. As Betsy's watching, she's like, oh, I know. Anyway, she's not even touching the ceiling anymore. Let's go to the left. By the way, this really re-strengthened my hips. One-legged work on the vibration plate. The first time I was all over the place, valgus varus, and boom, after a while I could just stand there and balance. What it did give me is because when I'm on the hardwood floor, it's like so easy to do on the hardwood floor now, comparatively to the vibration plate. Again, moving in three-dimensional motion. Right to left, oscillate, and then it's got just like motor, which sends central nervous system. It's amazing. Anyway, breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh, keep going. I'm actually going to set her up for some push-ups off that vibration plate, which is pretty tough as well. I'm going to have just the lateral motion on her push-ups. What I'm setting up for here is for her to be on her knees. Okay, so let's do your push-ups there. Okay. So I'm going to quickly go here. And power. I'm just going to set it to, she's, by the way, heart rate is like flying for her. I'm just going to put on lateral for her push-up. Maybe lateral and vibration. There. The motor is almost nothing. It's no different than maybe driving around in your car and feeling what that motor feels like on the car. So she's ready for her push-up. She's going down and up. Down and up. And she's working on against that lateral. Good. Those are good. How do they feel? I like that it's not bouncing oscillation because it would kind of bang her into her shoulder blades. It's not bad actually. It wouldn't be a bad exercise for the scapula here, but I like that lateral stability for her there. And then what I'm going to do is pull her and down up. And then I'm going to have her draw her knees. She was down on knee push-ups. Just pick up your knees, stay in your plank, and you'll hold your plank. Now, in this position, she knows what's called a spider climber, so we're going to use that next. So take your right knee wide towards your right elbow, spider climber. Excellent. Now left, perfect, and right. Perfect. Nice. We're gonna do 4. Try to keep this a little longer when you do it, so the motion's coming from her hip. It isn't coming as much from side bending and QL. Betsy, ooh, can you try? Can you try to keep this long and then only bring that knee in? Yeah. Now try to go more without hip hiking. That was better to me, but it's not easy. Now this side does. Try one more on this side. Try not to hip hike as much. Try to lengthen. Yes, she did it. Holy shite. Rest. That's actually very challenging, and most instructor, it was harder. Everything IQ is always going to be harder. I'm surprised she did it, was able to do it. It's like that's a hard topic. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna work into the middle and do some lateral lunges. And it's funny, the song was just work the middle. Let's just do some lateral. Let's grab your 10s right here, these greens. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. It's cold in here. I'm gonna put on a top. Find my top. Okay, lateral lunges. Chalet.
Out of row.
Oh my God, lateral lunges. Yeah, go right to left. Okay. It's really chilly in here. I'm gonna do a balance. Just step in. Just step in without balancing. Good. I was threw off her balance. Not funny. All right. I'm gonna have a lunge. Good. I love this. Good. Good. Those are the 10s. I feel like, what are you using at home? With those new heavy big weights that you have.
The ones are 25.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The 10s are 20. Her ones at home are 25s. Nice. We're going to have you do one more here. Good. Now, can you just lift your upper body and turn towards the front wall? Good. And then I'm just going to turn into reverse lunge. Just bring that left leg a little bit more left. So, yeah. Okay. So we're going to bicep curl also on this lunge. And here you get to do your shoulder press because perfect. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of those. Do 4 of those. I'm going to switch to her Viper because I feel like it. She loves the Viper, ha ha. She does. She asks the Viper all the time. Viper's pretty challenging, but this is how I work with someone I know. I build, I watch them move, I see where their body is the day of, and then we build into the workout. Okay, so I think that was 4. I know about what rep. Now switch to the Viper without like doing too much. Put those down, and then grab the Viper. Put that leg back. The same lunge is happening now. Okay? Let's bring the arms up to your, and then as you do this, I call this the bazooka, go down. And I held her Viper because I knew she would go with which arm she would go with. And then draw back in and then up. I wanted that cross body feel, so I wanted ribs forward a little bit. I want that down. I held this. If I already know what the client's gonna do, I will stop you right in the moment. Sometimes I'm shocked, I'm like, why did you do that? Good. For me, she's over punching it. Can you tell? Lunge. And then do you see? I wanted her to go under it a little bit more than over it. Your uppercuts in your boxing versus your undercuts, right? Down. I mean, I used to teach all that stuff. There's a reason I stopped. down. Keep that shoulder back. We've been talking a lot about putting that shoulder in line, neutral with the ear. It's gonna tip anteriorly, thumb's gonna rotate inward, you get that tightness, the pecs get tight. Good. I see that's good. That last one, the knee was a little forward for me of your toe. She has a lot of ankle range of motion, which is why that can happen. But that last one, she got tired. That's why I called it her last one. So we're gonna laterally lunge on the left. I'm gonna hold her on the left. We're gonna do exactly the same thing on the left. So come out this way so we can lunge that way. That way your butt isn't on Instagram. And then drop back in. She's like, thank you. She's gonna kill me. Walk over to the left a little bit more just to keep you in the, yeah, you have all this space. So because we did the dumbbells on the right, we'll do the dumbbells on the left also with this. So anything we do one-sided, we do the other-sided as well. So funny, I left you there on Instagram by yourself. What? Yeah. Lunge. Keep a nice flat back. Ashley, we missed you. So what happened is a partner couldn't make it last minute. I know Yael loves to do strength training, so I was like, let's do more strength. She's coming tomorrow for reformer. Good. So why not do a little bit of the weights, which she loves to do with a strong client that knows most of the routine. You're gonna do 4 with that bicep curl shoulder press combo, then we're gonna switch it to your Viper. But with a client that knows most of her routine, or can understand my language for me to like switch it up quick, I will switch it up quick. I will turn into strength Pilates combo. This is how I prefer to strength train ever, with all of your Pilates breathing, with good form, with choreography, with props. We started with some unlive ab work, which I filmed. We'll see how that came out and decide if we're going to post that. Is this 4? It's about 4. She rotates her grip on that tricep too, which I'm going to work on. We're going to go into the Viper next. We'll just make sure the weights are not in your way, but I think you have enough room. We got mirrors right side, left side of the room, so she's good to go with that. So we bring it up here. I'm just gonna be careful. I don't think she's gonna do it again, but yep. And then, perfect. So that's where that knee, you can see that left knee over the toe. It's not wrong. You can go left knee over the toe. It just depends on what muscle you feel you're really strengthening. I really want glutes in a lunge. Personally, I want to challenge my front glute. I want the long lever pressing up from the back leg. I don't want to let it shift back, forward, up. I want like straight down and up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring her right leg back a little bit more. And it's tightness of the hip flexor in my opinion. Everything's my opinion. But did you see her shift back? Because that's hard for her. Stop shifting back. Okay. Straight down. That was better. For me, again, her knee could go back. I know a lot of people like a shortened lunge. I like a long levered lunge, and I keep the weight light, and I load the front leg a lot. That's just me personally. Want to do some deadlifts? Why don't we do a single leg row? Let's take the Viper. Let's warm up with some double leg dead. Double leg deadlift. Are you out of breath? She's taking a little break. I'll demo. I know her. She's like, that was challenging, guys. So we're gonna do your nice hinge, flat back. We're gonna row and return and then stand. While I give her that quick break, we're going into the deadlift. Okay, so a lot of people row into their breast area, neck area, and elbows, and it's a lot of bicep. I like a nice pull back row and then return. I don't know if you can see because of the weight of this. I'm just using like one finger to hold in here. This is light for a deadlift, to be honest, which is why I'm just giving her a couple of these warm-ups. And I said, you want to go into a one-legged deadlift, right? She's like, yeah. So for the one-legged deadlift, it's going to be a decent amount of weight, and then she can also lift off the ground. Okay? Just warm up with some 2. You want to press your hips back like you're bumping someone who's behind you. Press and squeeze the glutes. None of the rounding of the back, none of the shifting of the forward. Hips first, hinge from the hips second, no low back. So try that. You feel ready? Okay. That row is going to be way too light. That's your, it used to be purple, but somehow it's green now. I think that's the, is that the 4 kilogram? Okay, so hinge. It's going to be way too light, but it will ensure that she has good form if it's light. It's way too light. She knows it's way too light. We use 10s, 12s, 15s, 20s on a row if you're strong. Less bending of your knees, and then release it, and then stand up. Hinge without bending your knees. You don't need to. Really press those hips back, and then row. Good. So if I'm here and then come back up, she should be leaving my leg. Now she's going to come back to it. She's gonna, nope. Do you see how, guys, she didn't come back to my leg? Yeah. I don't want you to bend over until you actually, thank you. You actually touch it. And then row, and then release. I want you to hip hinge to me first. Thank you. That, for me, is how we do it. Okay. Now, just take your right leg frontal. All the same rules apply. Right leg frontal, left leg back, and we're going to row. We're going to hinge row there. Yeah, this is just balance. I'm going to let you move on this one, and like some exercises I go for like perfect form. Some I'm just going to let you move into. We don't do this one often. If I see relatively good form, that back leg can be on the floor. It can, and you can do all the hip hinging too. Or it can lift, it can launch. By the way, when I shut off the infrared, I did that motion, probably because I just did it, but it is a motion we do. It's a lot of like reaching. We'll lift that leg for stability so we don't fall over and land on our face. So the single leg hip hinge is functional. So is the lateral lunge. It's also functional. We want to avoid bending at our back to pick everything up. That's how we get low back pain. That's how we are constantly overstressing the lumbar if that's where we're hinging from. Okay, good. A little bit of more rotation. Letting her feel this one, we'll work on some alignment. She has a little rotation in that pelvis. Can you feel it? She feels it. So a little rotation left in the pelvis, and when you left rotate, you're rotating clockwise.
It's more on this side.
She goes, yeah, it's more on that side. Let's do just a quick show. You want to show the plie chokes? This is impossible. It's very challenging. Grab the Viper, face this, face whatever direction. I don't care what direction she faces. And then grab that, and we're going to choke, choke, choke. She just knows it, so I don't have to, yep. And then all the way down, down, down. I don't know, I learned this at the Viper training, and I just always keep it. Any questions? Because wow, there's a lot of people in here right now. Cool. All right. Nice. And you guys, I have virtual classes. If you want to join, we do some of this technique work. Right? Wave and wave. Wow. I've actually never had this many people on live. I think we're done. All right. Cool. These are called plie chokes. Go as deep as you can. I like to get all the way to the end of the Viper when I do this. Listen, guys, I am not in my old training shape. What I'm putting her through is pretty freaking hard. Anyone want to try me on it? That's why I should take a quick break, because her heart rate is just like flying. Do you need water? You need water. You don't have water. She doesn't drink. I'm getting her water while we set up. Wait. I am. You need water. She doesn't drink enough. That's another topic. But I'm going to set you back up for I think I'm going to bring you to your squats. Her heart rate's too low to go back to the first original on that barrel variation. I don't want her down on her back. So I'm going to set her up in a moment for vibration. Just hang in there. I'm going to get her some water too. Breathe. There's nothing wrong with you. I want you to know that we haven't done this style for a really long time. And so what happens with that is the heart rate goes crazy. All right, so I've clearly filtered water at all times. She's gonna drink. I'm gonna make her. You're gonna drink. But we're doing heart rate challenge too, but we're doing more like interval. It's gentle interval. It's not burpees and plyometrics, but this is interval training. Okay. Take your time. We're gonna pull out the vibration, and you'll get your weights, and we're gonna go back to those squats. We're gonna go right into the ones where she's gonna squat down and put them right on the bicep curl, and then get right down into it. You can go wider if you want to. Perfect. Down up. I'll tell you right now, the routine she's doing, I couldn't even put myself through, but I used to be able to, and I'm working to get back there. Had to get out of pain first from a fall with a foster dog, a pretty aggressive fall, where I was flipped to my back and dragged by this dog. It was very strong. Ran to a dog it wanted to say hi to, and I went like a couple feet, dragged. It like some torn glutes, probably glute medius, but that had healed by the time I got the MRI. I had some bulging discs, possible herniation that had already healed as well. Herniated disc, it can be ruptured, but a herniation, you could have just like tears that are uncomfortable, that allow the disc to have, the disc will be swollen, and then it will bulge a little and press out on the nerves. So everyone hears herniated disc. It depends on how herniated it is. Like, those are just tears. So we're gonna go to those push-ups. I'm just gonna change her mode again to vibration. You okay? Any given day, 2 sets of this. She's going in her second round. Any given day, I could have done this. I can't now. What I'm putting her through, even though it might look easy, it's not. The other thing I was gonna say, with all the up and down in the arms and legs at the same time, blood's pumping to the arms, blood's pumping to the legs, and so that is why at first some people can feel a little lightheaded or dizzy on these motions. I give them breaks, and then usually that goes away. If it doesn't, I make modifications. We're not going to do arms and legs moving in opposition with weights, or maybe at all. Take a child's pose. How many did you do?
I think I did 8, but you know I can't count. And
She said she did 8. That's good. Just hold plank. I'm not going to do the spider climber again with her, but we're going into second round. This is what I was going to say earlier. Go into plank though, onto all fours, and then pick up your knees and drive into plank and just hold. While I tell this story, just hold. Chin in, pull your hair, fix your hair thing. Jalen. Can you shift your legs a little bit left, barely, okay, right there. We do 2 sets. In strength, we do 2 sets. Pilates does one of a lot of things, a lot of choreography, lots of props. Like heavy strength is like 3, 4, 5, 6, and I don't even know. And many sets, 1 rep, right? So I sort of was like, I don't know what to do. I'm Pilates and I'm strength. So I always picked a 2-set combo. So you go the round a second time. And we kind of leave it at that. It gets people in shape, it works. If they have time, they want to do 3 sets. I'm not opposed to that. but if it's strength, we do 2. If it's Pilates, we do 1 set. Okay. So then we're gonna go ahead and drop to the knees, a little child's pose again. We're gonna shut this off. Oh no, we're gonna keep it on and we're gonna do your balance work. So we're in our second set of the variations here. Good, she's internally rolling, externally rolling to the arms. I didn't tell her she did it. Great. Because as we jog the memory into, but in speaking of memory and brain, my clients just brought over their signed book, Jeff Karp. Check it out. It's going to be in my story, but it's Use Nature's Playbook to Energize Your Brain, Spark Ideas, and Ignite Action without my reading glasses on. It's called Lit. It's like brilliant. I don't have to read it to know what it's going to say, but I'm going to read it anyway because it's amazing. So the fact that she's really in it now, maybe in it to win it, one might say. Balance and hold, standing on her right leg. The first time she's like, wait, what? I'm throwing things at her. Throwing jam against the wall and see what sticks. Now she's like in it. I see her doing principles that we do in our virtual class. And I'm like, well, that's good. Add that in. Right? So I jogged her memory. Her brain is on. She's ready to roll. She's doing a little balance work. And then we're going to go and head over into her lateral lunges, reverse lunge combo. I'm going to switch it up on her lateral lunge, though. I'm going to switch it to a band. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Oh my gosh, we have a decent crowd, more than usual for me. Betsy says the place looks great. Moment to arrive. I'm gonna prep her bands, and then you can come off and drink. I'm gonna make her drink. I drink a ton of water, guys. I have a mason jar. I'll show you. So all day long I'm filling my filter water in the kitchen. Then I put filtered water into another pitcher. So it's ready to go. I just accordioned her band so it's a good amount. Okay? And the band stays nice and open. I use my thumb to keep the band open. I'm gonna give her band, expand, lateral lunge, expand. More flexibility on this round. Prepping for the Viper, which is gonna be like the final, but challenging. So lateral. Okay, so why she didn't see it. I already know she didn't see it because of the setup she did. So she went to go to full lateral lunge step out. I want nice and wide as you can go. And then, she's just going to shift lateral, right? Good. What I'm going to do is finalize her on that barrel. That's when hopefully her heart rate will be a little bit lower. But now I'm like, shoot, I should have done this last. Okay, I'm gonna do it. If I say it, I do it. Leave it nicely on there. I'm gonna use that so you can draw your heart rate down before we go on your back. We're gonna go to Viper first. Okay, so I'm gonna take her to the bazooka. It's a little crazy, I know. We're both doing this. We haven't done this in a really long time. It has to be a private, or it has to be 2 partners that can do the same work, right? Okay.
This is where I'm gonna get the wrong.
No, she's like, this is where I'm going to get the wrong one. She didn't, though. I gave her some space on that, but expand your legs more. Can I get nice? Yeah. And then down, and then bazooka. Perfect. Down, front. So the reason why I took her off of her plie, again, changed my mind last minute. It's still snapping up for me, her elbow. I go down. And a little more down, a little more across from her Viper is what I want. Was that harder? Okay, here's what I want. Stay facing that direction. let's keep that leg frontal, the other leg back, and go right into your single leg deadlifts. Single leg deadlift, right? Yeah. This is called training with APD. Return the weight, hinge, one leg hinge, row, return, you have enough space, go a little left. I was like, I don't think she's gonna have enough space, and she did, she like banged the reformer just in that last piece, so hinge, row, return. So back to saying, partners, there's so much going on. There's corrections, there's thought, this is more of an artist type of training. I watch lines, I see where the client is. If they need water in the middle, we get it, all that good stuff. I was gonna say I have that pitcher, water, boom, and I drink water all day. I have to make her drink, so that's back to that. Anyway, long story short. It's like, ooh, this would be great right now. Like a mad scientist, evil mad scientist. Which when I got my lymphatic drain downtown, also, she was like a mad scientist. She was like, let's do this now. And I was like, what? Try not to put so much weight on your back leg on the down, but she's really freaking tired. So we're at 31. And then just keep an eye on for meetings. She actually has a job. So, oh my God, this got cold because I shut it off and now it's cold. So back to the plie, guys. Also, so much happened in that last minute with me. Okay, so that one was kind of like that old kind of look. It was kind of like, right? So I want back, down, and right? She's tight on this side. This is what's happening. Left foot a little more forward, okay? Put weight straight down and a little bit back now, and then down. And ribs frontal. Do you feel all? She's just shifting back. So I want to drive it frontal, a little, without like head and neck forward. Feel. Anyway, this is gonna fly her heart rate. Also, the Pilates chokes are gonna fly the heart rate. The Pilates chokes, the plie chokes. She knew what I meant. Draw the shoulders, chin in, skull back. Yep, a little bit more. And the chin lifted. And if I want to take her onto her back to finish that chest press, tricep combo, I think I'm going to do below the belt so I can show that too in this video. I'm going to give her that moment. If she needs water, she's going to take it. But also, then we're doing the single leg deadlift. Do you want to go and drink some water? I'm going to demo that. We're almost there. We're like we're on the home stretch. So if you guys can see it, it's like she wants to like lunge and lean back like that, right? So I'm going to expand that leg. I'm going to go down. Do you see how there was no shifting? I didn't shift back. I didn't lean back. Because what I did was I thought about my core first. I'm also not shifting frontal. And then I come back up, and then I go out. Now, for reals, I can only do like a good 4 of those, like really intensely good. She just did 8. They were like, they were good. They were good, but like these are better. So down. And then if the form's there, we can expand upward. We're not going to do that. Although she's going to try because she saw it. It's not time. So, lunge. So we did the lunges, right? Now it's your hinge. Okay, so it's your single leg deadlift. On her chin. Keep that neck still. I want to see the spine hinge as though a dowel is from the head back. Crack is thanks to the guys I don't watch anymore, which is called Move You. But head back and right at the top of the separation of the glutes. You want to keep that a nice long dowel. She has that rotation here. Soft bend in your left leg. So what I'm going to cue Also a little shifting. She's shifting over to the left. We'd work on that, but to be honest, in order to work on that, her foot has to be down. She can't lift it up and work on it. It's too hard. I'm gonna let her move a little bit today and lift it. But in order to fix it, you have to work the chain. That would be all your alternate arm and legs, right? So if you had a little bit, I'm gonna use this screen, so just, get out of the way. But that's all this stuff, guys, to fix her single leg deadlift. It's all fours without shifting, without rotating the hip. You know what I mean? So it's gotta come from, and listen, if you can't be on all fours and properly correct it, then it's stomach down and just alternate arm and leg. The muscles have to contract in order properly in order to keep good form. But a lot of people don't have time for that. And so we do the best we can in that hour. A lot of my sessions are an hour, a little over an hour though. I know, she's like, I'm here all day. But you have to leave, you have somewhere to go. So plies, we're gonna do lateral lunge with the band. But the lateral shifting lunge, which is going to work more flexibility. I am not going to do a second set of plie choke. She doesn't need it today. So separate those feet nice and wide, really wide. And then just shift into the lunge. Feel this as flexibility. And then I like to pull the band when you stand. I'm not a fan of pulling the band here. You're hinged over and you would be using your posterior muscles. But it's often done with terrible form because it's so much harder when you hinge over to pull and expand. That's when you see, guys, chest flies at the gym or reverse flies at the gym and people are flying up like this. Because as soon as you hinge over, it's the posterior muscles, which are much harder. This one just feels nice to do, very challenging, very good for the triceps if you straighten your elbows. Right? If you really straighten your elbows there, retract that scapula, you're getting some posterior chain too, expanding the chest. This is a chest expansion exercise. Boom. And then you're in if you motorcycle it, pull back like that, and then pull open, you're feeling all the posterior muscles. Do you feel what I'm talking about? I can tell she changed it and did it properly as I said that. So she turns on all these muscles. Yeah. And the straight elbows. You want more toned tricep. I can't promise they will be perfect, but they'll be more toned if you just straighten your elbows. I just tell people, straighten your fucking elbows. All right. Onto your back in your plank. That drew her heart rate down. If I had done plie chokes, she would have spiked, and then going on your back, not ideal. Okay. Into the, yep. And she's like, so go on my back? Yeah, because that should have softened her heart rate a little, but it's still up, but it's not as aggressive. So we're gonna see if she can then go back to the original cue. This heat is nice. Thank you, higher dose. So we bend, which I highly recommend. Infrared heat panels she's working on. She's even getting sauna blanket hot bend. Now see if she can keep her elbows tracking in, the weights apart. Look at how much she's already better. So I didn't have, her brain is on. She's lit. Jeff Karp, she's lit. I would assume the book is talking about that. Maybe not exactly, that's my guess. Ignite the brain. What I'm gonna do is just scoot you down just a tiny, tiny bit. I don't want your neck too far in extension. Squeeze and squeeze. I thought this was on sleepwalking. We'll get some air in here because it is hot by this sauna blanket. But the cues I wanted her to do earlier in class, which were coming for me, her muscles were tight. Now it's solid, no problems. That's how it goes. If it's hula hoop, I can teach you how to hula hoop in 30 minutes. If it's jump rope, I can teach you some techniques. You might not be able to have the endurance for jump rope. It's alignment, your muscles are really on. You leave that way, you think about your posture. I usually say, when you come here, I'm like, do you have to rush out? Well, I don't have to rush, but we're at 1:39. next to you, Ash. I think that's good. And we're gonna stretch, we're gonna chill, we're gonna drink water, and we're gonna go. Thanks for watching.